We should be live. We have breaking news. Hurricane Erin is officially a Category 5 major hurricane in the Southwest Atlantic. Right now, we're going to be tracking all the latest information that we have gathered to get all these tabs cleared up for you guys, but this is going to be an emergency live stream because, again, this is breaking news from the National Hurricane Center. Hurricane hunters have found 160 mile per hour winds in the core or the eye wall of Erin. So there it is. This is the official data from the Recon mission that the hurricane hunters, they have been going on here. You can see that they did find a minimum central pressure of 926 millibars inside the eye wall of Erin. So usually when you're in the 920s, that is indicative of a Category 5 hurricane. Now, obviously, the scale isn't by pressure, it's by wind gusts. So they did find some drops on data that did come back with wind gusts at the surface of 160 miles per hour, which I believe is about 150 knots or so. Let me see if they've updated it on Tropical Tidbits here. They have not. But again, Erin is now officially a Category 5 hurricane, and we're just going to be kind of continuing to watch it here as she rapidly intensifies across the Atlantic. So I'm going to pull up stream chat here if anyone has any questions. Again, this is not just a kind of a watch party, if you will. This is also going to be a update on where Erin's going, because, I mean, obviously it's important to the public that they know where a storm like this is going, because this is a very, very dangerous and strong, powerful hurricane. So let me pull up stream chat here. What's up, Joan Paul? What's up, Mr. Twister? What's up, Harry Lim? And Top Fan went from Cat 1 to Cat 4 so quick. Well, it's now Cat 5. First Cat 5 of the season, it is indeed. Yeah, it's just crazy that this is literally the 4th season in a row with a Category 5 hurricane. I find that crazy. I'm going to plug in my laptop here. So just the smoothly. I don't really know. Hold on. Let me get this out of your way. Alright, there we go. Alright. Peaks at 165, and you don't advise to go to the East Coast beaches because of rip currents. Yes, we will talk about that shortly. But the peak was 160 at the 10 a.m. update. And that was because Erin was not quite yet a Category 5 hurricane. It was still a Cat 4, very high in Cat 4 though. But now that it is already a Cat 5, which is way ahead of schedule. In fact, this was not even supposed to happen at all during Erin's life. And the fact that it happened, today, it was supposed to hit maybe Category 3 status today. It's now a Category 5, so that's insane. If you're just now tuning in, welcome to the stream. Please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the stream. It helps a lot. Indeed. I'm going to go pin that message there. But yes, do not go to the East Coast beaches because, again, rip currents are going to be a huge problem. But this is what Erin is looking like right now. Again, very healthy system. You can see that pinhole eye there. I believe it is now the driest eye that we've seen in any recorded tropical system ever, which I just find unbelievable here. But this thing is breaking records. It's intensifying so quickly. But the reason for rapid intensification is because of the warm water and basically no shear. That's pretty much spot on. If you look at satellite here, this is on the Tropical Atlantic viewer here. You can see literally. Look at this huge plume of moisture that has kind of cocooned Erin. All of this dry air, this is not causing dry air intrusion. There is no problem for Erin here just because of how, conducive these waters are. You have sea surface temperatures approaching 90 degrees, but also you have all of this warm and moist air ahead of Erin, which is just causing her to continue to rapidly intensify. So she's not bothered at all by this huge plume of Saharan dust, if that's your question, everyone. So if you're wondering, why is it still intensifying with all this dry air? I mean, it's not really bothered by it because, I'll circle it, but this is what's keeping Erin so kind of wrapped in moisture there. Not to mention we have good outflow at the higher altitudes because the low pressure system, you need to expel the air you sucked in somewhere else. Yeah, I mean, everything is going right for this system, to say the least. I'm not really sure why my monitor keeps, like, crashing low-key. It's weird. Hold on, everyone. Okay, there we go. But yeah, this is what Erin is looking like. Again, you can see that pinhole eye. The southwest eyeball seems to be the strongest at this point. It's kind of transitioned from the eastern eyeball. So some meteorologists are speculating that we could see Erin undergo a eyewall replacement cycle, but I really don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, just because the National Hurricane Center, let me refresh this is actually old news, but the National Hurricane Center has advised that Erin will continue to be a Category 5 hurricane all the way up until 8 p.m. Tomorrow night. So, I mean, we're going to have Cat 5 Erin with us for quite a while, but as of now, peak gusts, I believe, are 200 miles per hour, and that will continue to be the case throughout today. Has a moisture bubble, that's why it's insulated from dry air. The storm has its own moisture bubble. Yeah, that's what we were looking at, again, on the satellite here. Erin reminds me of Hurricane Lee back in September 2023. I can see that, but Erin is much stronger than Hurricane Lee. This kind of reminds me of Beryl, but obviously not the same place, luckily. You can see some of the outer bands on the radar in Puerto Rico. I believe we could actually see the eyewall on the Puerto Rico radar, if I'm not mistaken. So we can pull that up here. I'm not really sure why my voice is kind of... I'm not sick or anything, but for some reason it's just... my voice is not voicing. Alright, let's see. Let's check out the Puerto Rico, the San Juan radar. Yeah, look at that, guys. This is the eye of Hurricane Erin, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, that's the eye. Again, Erin's kind of moving generally west-southwest at this point. So, still a little bit south of the cone. But when you have a storm like this, it's going to move north eventually due to the fact that stronger hurricanes gain latitude. And it's going to do that. It's going to make that curve there. So, we'll turn on the track. Again, this is the latest update here. Again, 160 mile per hour winds, minimum central pressure of 917 millibars. Just insane. Weather-wise, for some reason, doesn't update for non-regular National Hurricane Center updates. That's weird. That's why I don't use weather-wise. I use Radar Omega. Beryl was in the Caribbean after devastating Carriacou, Grenada at 140 mile per hour Cat 4. Worst storm in its history. Ivan was just puny compared to Beryl and Grenada. Otherwise, is a place you recommend? Yeah. So, I believe we can actually look at satellite here. Well, if they could zoom in on Erin. They used to do this thing where they actually, like, just zoom in right on a storm here. Like, there would be an option to do that on the satellite, but I guess not. Maybe this one? There we go. Yeah, so that's Erin. Again, you can see just a huge system right now, just north of the Lesser Antilles and Leeward Islands. Continues to lash the northern islands here with tropical storm outer bands here. So that's where you're going to see those tropical storm force winds, heavy rain. Barrel at the TCR bottom now at 932 millibars. Erin, yeah, I mean, Erin is quite literally doing what the icon was showing, and I talked about this in my update last night, that I still would not rule out a track, or not a track, but like something like what the icon was showing. I wouldn't rule it out for Erin here, and I mean, the icon still wants Erin to drop into the 910s, which proved to be the case here. Will it continue to intensify? That's definitely a possibility, but eventually this thing will weaken out. I mean, the icon has this dropping down to about 913 millibars, so only off by 6 millibars. Now the GFS, way underdoing the system. Usually when a system gets this strong on the GFS tends to underplay it. It does not quite catch up with the storm strengthening just because of how quickly it actually did it. But the GFS initially only brought this down to 936 millibars. Let's see, the Euro's way underplaying that. Or, nope, there we go. So the Euro wanted that phase of rapid intensification to come much later. Again, it did get the storm down into the 915 millibars. Gosh. So, I mean, the Euro had that phase of rapid intensification. It had that storm going Cat 5. But it just happened so quickly that it threw all the models off. It didn't... None of the models had this predicted. I mean, you can look at the HWRF, and still, I mean, only 933 millibars by tomorrow, so... You get the idea. I mean, it just happened so quickly, and everyone was caught off guard. I'm gonna tell you, I went to bed expecting maybe a Cat 3 at best. Woke up, saw news that it was Cat 5. I was like, wow. That is insane. So yeah, this is Erin right now, on satellite. Again, north of the Virgin Islands, and Barbuda there. So it'll continue its march off to the west there. August, September, and October has almost all Cat 5s in the Atlantic. Usually, that's typically what we see, is that peak season brings the strongest storms. But obviously, Beryl was a little different, a little bit different. What's up, Sydney? Good morning. Is up all night and saw I was going Cat 3 to Cat 4 to Cat 5. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, this thing is going to expand very rapidly, which I also want to mention here. So, we are seeing that already. But I think we can look at the visible satellite here. Oh my gosh, just a beauty. I mean, look at that, guys. It's not as clear because it's kind of pixelated, but, I mean, that is amazing. Because 2005 and 2024, for July 1932 is November. You were up till 4 a.m. and got 4 hours of sleep. Dang. I don't know, sometimes I pull, not quite an all-nighter, but close to it. But it takes a toll on how I don't know how I go about my day later on. Alright, let's see. Okay, this, oh my gosh. Dude, look at that. Wow. That's impressive, guys. I mean, this is very impressive satellite imagery. And look at all that moisture ahead of Erin. This should be the dry air. And you can see it's not getting wrapped into the circulation like weakening storms. That's what happens with weakening storms. This storm is so strong that it's cocooned itself in a huge plume of moisture. I think Perry was talking about that earlier. To the point where this will not be weakening anytime soon. And as it does drop from Cat 5 to Cat 4, it's not going to go all the way down to Cat 3, anytime soon. So again, Category 4, Erin, or this is, this is old news. They have not updated this yet. We can even go to the National Hurricane Center. Again, Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunters find Erin is now catastrophic Category 5 hurricane. That's just scary wording. Oh my gosh. Like in all caps here. Like that kind of makes your heart jump. But yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, they haven't even, oh my gosh, they haven't even updated it on, like, when you click on Erin. They only have it down here. This is the 11:20 a.m. Okay, so, yeah, they do a special update, for the storm itself, but they don't do it on the homepage yet, because they update the homepage every 3 hours. So this will be updated in 2 hours, I believe. But yeah, on the specific update for Erin, they have the latest numbers. Again, 160 mile per hour winds, 917 millibar pressure. Crazy. Do you see the spotter dot inside Erin? I literally posted about that like 20 minutes ago. I find that crazy. Just look at that. Obviously, it's a hurricane hunter. I just find that kind of amusing. Sam looking into this. Of course. Helene was your number one because of impact and high intensity. Milton was just the finisher in Southwest Florida, and a few died compared to Helene. At 2, 5, 8, 11 a.m. and p.m. So by 2 a.m. Eastern, we should get, again, that new homepage update. But I don't expect them to update this page for Erin unless something, crazy happens between now and 2. You don't think it's a hurricane hunter? Their name is literally Fraudy McFraudster. Wait, what? If that's true, there's no way, bro. That's crazy. It's insane. Okay, look at that eye. Just unbelievable. Someone probably figured out how to modify their IP to shift the location of the dot in their drawing. I'm sure that that's what it was. I didn't even realize that was the name. 916 millibars now confirmed. Alright, that's just insane. Well, the latest on Tropical Tidbits. Hold on. Can we get data for drop zone 16? Yes. Okay, this is the drop zone data. Yeah, I don't know where you're finding 916, but I would not, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I would not blame you for saying that, because, this storm is still intensifying like crazy. Again, this is the latest graphic that we have from the hurricane hunters. Again, they found that 927 still outside of the eye. They found 917 inside the eye. Well, this was 1535Z, so, hold on. Gosh. I'm trying to think. what time that is in Eastern. Again, just unbelievable. You're so tired. Gosh. Yeah, 930s and 920s are not heard of. I mean, it's something that we see at this point. It's really every year. But just the fact that it happens so fast is why I'm, going crazy with this thing. Because, again, no one expected. I mean, they weren't even forecasting a Cat 5 in general at all with this storm. And it happened quite literally in 12 hours. I mean, that's just wild. But yeah, this is a catastrophic Category 5 hurricane. Just unbelievable stuff. So, we can get into the track for Erin. I'm gonna just keep up the stuff that I need. So we'll revisit the Recon data, but I think this is where they found the pressure of 917 millibars. Oh, okay, so yeah. The surface wind. I believe this is the graphic that shows the Category 5 status. And also the storm is much more moist and also warmer than, I believe, the surrounding air, which I saw that from, I think it was, Matthew Capucci here. Let's see. First Cat 5 since Milton. Yeah, the eye is about 13 degrees warmer than surrounding air, a sign of an extremely intense warm core system. That's what I was talking about. Look at that. That is the hurricane eye there. Also, is my stream lagging? Because it's not working for my... Okay, there we go. This is what it looks inside the hurricane. Again, all credit to the hurricane hunters. They're doing a heck of a job with this system. But this is a picture of the eye. I mean, look at these waves, too. Can we talk about how rough these seas are? I mean, this is just a unbelievable system. Again, that is a picture-perfect eye. Hey, what's up, Pete? And Sam? How's it going? It was buffering a bit earlier, but it looks great now. Alright, good. Again, I mean, that is just... Yeah, the white caps are crazy. I would not want to be on the water under that storm, I'll say that much. Speaking of which, I guess we can get into tracking the storm now. So if we look at the GFS ensembles here, let's go to regions, North Atlantic, zoom in. No, we're going to zoom out because we can go a little bit farther out with this. Alright, there we go. So this is the latest GFS ensembles. We'll take this out 204 hours. So again, you can see most of the members staying pretty tight together, but with that, southern shift where a lot of people are saying like, oh, the storm it's moving south of the cone. That's not really going to have a huge impact on where the storm goes, because even if the storm goes, takes that southern option, like, we'll draw a track here. Let's say the storm goes south of the cone. Like, that's a ridiculous path. Even if it goes something like this, it's still going to make that sharp curve out to sea. It's still not going to directly impact land. So just because it's moving, at best 5 miles south of the cone, that's not really going to bring a huge impact on anything. So at worst case scenario, it will take a track like this, but again, the tighter the lines here, the more confidence there is. So when you see kind of this big bunch here, this is where the overall agreement is for where Erin will go. So some kind of corridor like this, I think, is kind of the current track, but obviously it could get taken a little bit farther off to the east, or it can be taken closer towards the east coast. That's always a possibility. So, I mean, that's the latest. Models never picked up on this rapid process of intensification. Oh, yeah. I plan on going live later. Explained this in my last night's live stream. This might do a very rapid intensification process like Milton, and look what happened. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. So again, this is the latest GFS ensembles. We can look at the European ensemble as well. And this is the Euro. Again, the Euro being much more tighter and a little bit more focused on that eastern track. Again, even one taking this through Bermuda. But the consensus here, or the kind of the most members out of the 51 are bringing this west of Bermuda, but still quite a ways east of the United States. So actually the GFS favors more, or at least the GFS ensemble favors more of a closer track towards land, yet the operational GFS, which the 12Z is coming out now, favors a track farther out to sea, where the Euro goes a little bit closer to land. So, I'm not saying that the storm is going to bring direct impacts to the United States, because it looks like that's most likely not going to happen. But what I can say is that huge waves are going to be likely across the eastern seaboard, especially if the storm goes closer towards land. I mean, look at this. The European is forecasting waves of up to 13 feet. Again, that's 13 feet here on the Carolina coastline, all the way up towards New England. Look at the Gulf of Maine here, and Nova Scotia. I mean, Erin's gonna get pretty close to that coastline. The New England coastline needs to be aware of the chance for some significant inundation and coastal flooding, because Erin is going to be creating such large swells, and the fact that she's such a large system, it's going to be pushing all this water towards the coastline. So that's going to be a big problem here for our folks in New England. So even if you're not getting hit by the main system, it's still going to bring impacts to you, hundreds of miles away. But especially Atlantic Canada. I mean, look at these waves. You're talking about 15-foot plus waves. Is that going to happen? Maybe not, but certainly some very rough seas. I mean, do not go, swimming. Obviously, if you're on the East Coast, I mean, a beach day, it's fine. But stay out of the water. I mean, it's not going to be a nice swimming day for sure. So that is just wild stuff. And again, the Icon just kind of... I mean, the Icon, we're all like, oh yeah, it's an outlier. There's no way this is happening. Look at that. It was the one and only model that actually somewhat got their phase of rapid intensification, but the problem is that it happened way earlier than the Icon wanted it. The Icon had... So, we were at 917 millibars now. The Icon had... Alright, the Icon had 915 by... Gosh, this is the 19th, so that's like Tuesday. The Icon had 915 by Tuesday. We're at 950 millibars right now, and it's Sunday afternoon. That's just crazy, man. That's what you call rapid intensification. That is rapid intensification for you. But yeah, rip currents, gonna be a huge problem here. We'll get actually official data from the National Hurricane Center on the worst areas as far as beach hazards go in a second. Hold on. Okay. There we go. We're back. Again, I wish that we had the option to zoom in on Erin. If I'm not doing it right and someone knows how, that'd be great. But also, I believe we did get hurricane warnings. Let me see. It's Cat 5? Yes, we're tracking that right now. Alright, if we turn on hurricane warnings, am I the only one who thinks we got them? I don't know, I saw it somewhere. Hold on, guys. Let me look at the cone here. No. We still have only tropical storm watches. Hey, what's up, Davis? Turn mic up. Alright. I can do that. Actually, it's all the way up. Let me know if you guys have some trouble hearing me. Alright, that should be better. Alright. What's up, Davis? The low pressure suggests that it's large. Yeah. I mean, just an absolute beast of a hurricane. Is it true that assuming wind speed is the same, the pressure drops so that the size goes up? I mean, usually, when you get a system like this that undergoes rapid intensification, usually it becomes a much larger storm, but I'm not sure if like, you know, the pressure drops an incredible amount, if just because that happens, the storm grows in size. I mean, we are seeing the storm grow in size in this case, but does it happen with every storm? Maybe not, because again, you can remember Milton, and Milton was much stronger, it was much stronger. I guess not much stronger, but it was stronger. But it also was much smaller. So, I mean, yeah. But yes, the wind field is growing. On your way to a town that was impacted by an EF5 tornado, any guesses in the chat? I know, but I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are going to do daily updates on Erin here. We've been keeping you guys posted, up to date on what Erin's looking like, but again, this is also the, for those of you that joined just now, this is the eye of Hurricane Erin. I don't know why I forgot to repost this. But this is what it looks like from the hurricane hunters. Again, you can see just huge waves below. And then this is the eye wall. Just an absolutely perfect, almost symmetrical hurricane. I mean, it pretty much is. That's the best and the most clear eye you're gonna get there. Yes, Milton was 895 millibars, 180 miles per hour. But let's see. Yeah, I don't know why I thought we had hurricane warnings. Also, a big thing to note, this is the latest Hurricane Erin rainfall forecast from the National Hurricane Center, I believe. No, this is the WPC, okay. They are still forecasting isolated spots of up to 6 inches here for portions of Puerto Rico. But, you know, also the Bahamas, an inch or two of rainfall is possible. Because those outer bands will be bringing some heavy rain to the islands there. It's probably either HPC, Smithville, Moore, Philadelphia, Rainsville, Joplin, Parkersburg, El Reno, or Greensburg. About an hour ago, 170 knots suspected surface winds were reported. That's like 180 miles per hour. It's not. Or maybe 175. Knots to mph. I should know how to do this, but I believe it's like around 176, 178. 170. No, wow, okay, that's 195. I'm an idiot. I thought it was 180. Oh my gosh. According to cyclonic, okay, we can look at that. Wow. My gosh. Ooh, we have a new Recon mission going into Erin shortly. Okay, is it? Let's see. Highest on the Dovark, if you go to 8. Okay, I think, hold on. Oh, this is it. I think. Should be. You were on Tropical Tidbits? Oh. I had no clue that you were on Tropical Tidbits, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Here we go. I believe it was 9? I should know where to go for this. I low-key don't. Oh, wow, okay, yeah. Oh my gosh. So, surface pressure, 931 millibars, northwest at 179 knots. I hope I'm reading that right, but... Okay, that's at 931 millibars. That's not the surface. Or maybe it is. Dude, is it? This should be the surface here. Gosh. Yeah, that's surface. This is not official data, but they have found, again, on this... Let me go back. That's unbelievable. Wow. I mean, if this is true, they have found winds at 179 knots at the 931 millibar level. Yeah, so that's like, I mean, that's 200 miles an hour. See, I'm not making it public yet, not making it official because it's not official data yet. But look at that. Oh my goodness. This thing is an absolute monster. Look at all those lightning strikes, too, ongoing. You're getting lightning strikes south of Puerto Rico. Look at that. This is in the very outer bands. Oh, what's up, Kevin? You're just saying this has a chance of sub 900? If it continues at the pace it's at now, I mean, definitely does. But again, this is not official data, but from the hurricane hunters at the surface, they have recorded drop zone data that recorded a northwest wind at 179 knots, which would be over 200 miles per hour. Yes, that would be 205.99 miles per hour, so about roughly 206 miles per hour. Again, not official data, but we'll see if they do update it. But I appreciate Sam for letting me know. Again, that is just absolutely unbelievable. And I think it's supposed to strengthen. Because now it's, 160 miles per hour, so it's still expected to strengthen at least 5 more miles per hour. Twitter probably, you'll narrow it down, add gusts over. Oh, still doing the guessing game, bro. I'm sure Twitter is going crazy over that. That's wild. Oh my gosh. Look how dry that... Oh my... Dude, this is unbelievable. Yeah, the GFS is a whole 73 millibars off of where the storm should be right now. 180 would be conservative for a National Hurricane Center. I mean, we'll see if they do use that information there. Yep, this is the driest eye ever. This is the driest eye ever. At negative 9.3 degrees Celsius, there is a negative 70.97 degree temperature difference between the eye and the surrounding CDO. Oh, wow. Dude, that is just crazy. We'll pull it up here. We'll get the, let's see. We'll get the water vapor products. Gosh, I wish we could zoom in. I think we can on satellite. There we go. We should be able to look at water vapor update. Alright, pretty messy looking loop here. Yeah, you can see it better on here. But again, that is just wild. So yeah, look at that. Negative 10.34 degrees Celsius. Minimum is 81 Negative 81 degrees. Yeah, it hasn't attempted that eye wall replacement cycle yet. I saw a few people saying that was going to be possible today. And if that does happen, it would weaken the fact that it hasn't happened yet. I mean, if you look at the end of satellite, it's not really showing any signs of that happening. You can see the eye is actually starting to wobble a little bit farther north. At the last few scans there, you can actually see that. Interesting. My goodness. That is a beautiful hurricane. Right there. Yes, the eye is pretty tight right now. Pinhole eye, if you like to call it. Again, kind of just scouting social media here in case that data is actually going to be used in the next update. Because if that is true, we could have a significant jump here in the strength of the storm here. We could actually see I love the Shear satellite library, or CIRA. It's very helpful. Oh my gosh. Look at like gravity waves too. You guys see that? Textbook. Alright, events. Hurricane Erin. That's what a hurricane looks like right now. What's up, EPC? Wow, you were right about it getting strong fast. I mean, yeah. If you were watching the update last night, we talked about how we couldn't rule out something like the icon playing out, and it happened just a few days earlier. We talk about how the 60 GFS has a Cat 1 in Tulsa. That's true. Pretty crazy stuff, but I think the second wave needs to be monitored for development. We'll look at the 12 ZGFS. Here it comes off the coast of Africa. We can actually see it, I believe, on satellite as well. We can look at the full disk. Let's see. You know what? We're just gonna go back. There we go. So yeah, the second tropical wave, or I mean, if you're gonna consider Erin a tropical wave, this is the one that we're watching. It is currently emerging off the coast of Africa. You know what? That's, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, probably not. But the GFS on the 12Z takes it through the MDR, and it strengthens as it approaches the Lesser Antilles into a Category 1 plus hurricane there. This is again the latest afternoon run. We're still not getting too far out, so I mean, you gotta realize that we have to start talking about this. But it does strengthen this into a 958 millibar, likely Cat 2, Cat 3 hurricane by the 23rd, so this is about a week out from today. Again, we see a very strong hurricane go right into the Caribbean. Again, impacting the Antilles there, both the Lesser and Greater Antilles feeling impacts from that. The morning run actually strengthened this much later. It did pass through the Caribbean, staying again with that northern track, and then it strengthened much later, again, as it moved into the Gulf, and then we're not gonna really talk about anything past that. So, for this storm, I think we're gonna talk about really, like 200 hours out at best. Past that, not quite. Alright, see you, Davis. I love you too. Bro, can we... the mullet allegations? Oh my gosh. You're new to my channel, you like that I'm a kid, you're a mom, your mom must be proud. Appreciate you for tuning in, appreciate you for all the support. I can tell you that she is a very proud mom. I'm very grateful for that. I did notice we just hit 1.31k subscribers, so I appreciate all of you for hitting that subscribe button, all the support, just incredible over the past couple of days. Again, just trying to keep people safe and know what's coming here. Oh, we can look at the ensembles just for the heck of it. Just see, especially if the Euro is picking up on this, because as far as I know, the GFS is the most aggressive out of the big three of the Canadian, the GFS, and the Euro. But if we look at the European ensemble, we'll take this out. Let's see. How far are we? Okay. We do get that signal there. It does not have all 51 members, but it certainly shows a couple here. Again, we're looking at the ensemble plots. It brings a few, most with that northern track, so a little bit of disagreement there with the GFS. We'll take it out just about 260 hours. So not all of them develop, but, I mean, you can see even that one down here, 985 millibars, this is exactly like what the GFS was showing. So, something to note, for sure. We'll have to continue to track this over the next couple of days, but you look at the GFS ensemble, I'm sure this is going to be a little bit more aggressive, considering that the GFS was the first model to pick up on this. So, we'll take it 216 hours out. And yeah, I mean, again, you can see how spread out these plots are. It shows you how much disagreement there is, but the signal is there on both the GFS and the European ensembles. So, definitely cannot ignore that. But that is your hurricane right there. Alrighty. You know, there's a data point for Chickasha that mentions people on the survey team only saw comparable tree damage when seeing end from Bridge Creek. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. Is that on Damage Assessment Toolkit? yeah, just unbelievable eye there. But rapid intensification is ongoing. Again, this is what the wave height is going to be like eventually. Again, we talked about this in the beginning of the live stream. You can see all across the East Coast, we're talking about 10 plus foot waves, but I'm very, I wouldn't say worried, but I would be watching out here, especially for the New England coastline. So, from New England all the way out towards Atlantic Canada, I really do think that we could be talking about some potentially significant inundation there in some areas. Because, again, this storm is going to be so big by the time it reaches this point that it's going to be sending huge swells towards the East Coast. So, if we look at I'll give you guys an example here. I mean, look at the HWRF. This is a huge center of circulation. I mean, that is almost funny to just look at that. I mean, look at the satellite loop too. You can see Long Island right here. I mean, it's starting to fall apart at this point, but look how giant the storm is at this point. You know, some folks about to have a good time at 200 feet, 50 miles from the eye wall, flying through those things is an experience like nothing else. I mean, even just knowing those people must be crazy. But, I mean, yeah, they are just insane for doing that. I don't even know if I could do that, because, again, the turbulence is just crazy up there. You gotta think, it must be a little scary, at least, to fly through a hurricane that's got 160, 165 mile an hour winds at the surface. What's up, Sean? Erin is now Category 5. It is indeed. But yeah, that is just insane, guys. So I believe there is a new Recon mission about to take flight. And they will be going into Erin here. So we took a look, yes, upcoming flights. So NOAA 105A is, into Erin is scheduled to depart in 57 minutes. So that is this one. This is the latest mission into Erin. Again, you can see 920 millibars still kind of outside of the main eye wall there. Yeah, that's the outer eye. Eye wall. Latest drop zone. Let's see. Again, that piece of information that we looked at earlier with that 170 knots at the surface just blows me away. Again, you can start to see Erin kind of taking that northern turn there. So we'll see if that's going to be a trend here over the next couple of hours, if Erin does continue to move north. But people were talking about how, again, it's like, oh, it's moving south of the cone. Well, it's back in it now. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. And CG flies C-130s like an ambulance, mainly ahead, calling Pon. Yes, the fact that we actually have people that do it, and the tools that we have, it's amazing that we actually have that stuff. Because we wouldn't have this information without them. Call me crazy, but it sounds fun. I guess being in the eye would be, you get crazy photos, I'm sure. If you look at their camera rolling their phone and you just see like the crystal clear eye of a hurricane, that just must be crazy. I'm wondering if we can actually look at this in 3D. I hope we can. Or is it 2D? I don't even know. Like, I want to like get it to be flat completely. If you know what I mean there. I think we can do it on Tropical Tidbits, or what am I saying? Radar Omega. Guess not. You're getting ready for your 15th surgery because of it now? Oh, dang. Hoping that goes well. All you see in the eye wall is insanity. When you break out, it's like heaven. Dude, it must, I mean, I know like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, that seems so fun. I mean, it's gotta be scary. There's like, I mean, the turbulence and everything is wild. You can't see anything. Plane is shaking. I mean, you don't know. Like, you usually, you know, as a human, you want to see, and you want to know what is causing all the shakiness, but you can't see that in the eye wall because all it looks like is just a bunch, like, you're just in this unending cloud with just tons of rain coming towards you. That's all you see. You can share a link to the first video we posted over a decade ago. It was 180 knot winds at 200 feet over 100-foot oceans. It's short and hard to make out, although it's in Alaska. Yeah, that would be wonderful to watch. Yeah, I appreciate you. But if you don't mind me sharing that video on stream, that would be great. Because I'm sure that everyone would like to see what it looks like, obviously, to do that. I mean, yeah, it would be fun. It would be fun to be in them. Just knowing that, like, you're, I don't know, in a hurricane. Again, look, you can see the storm making that march to the north. We could draw a little axis here. Look at that. It's moving northeast, or northwest now. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. The last 3 hurricanes and tropical storms you were biking in? Dang. You think you were in the eye of Matt back in 2016, but it was a weak Cat 1, so the eye wasn't much of one? Oh. Yep, it is making that north turn. Just doubled its strength in like 8 hours. So let me post about this trend north. Share map. I don't think that works. Trying to share a video. Alright, that GIF of, you know what? We can do it this way. For some reason, when you said no doubt about it, no doubt about that, it reminds me of Mike Betts reacting to the drop one damage, saying no question about that. Oh. Yeah, that's a famous line that will never be forgotten. That's for sure. Not really sure why this is not downloading. There we go. Okay. Seems like Erin is now beginning to make that behind the scenes of posting on Twitter. I did have a W chase the other night. That was fun. Hold on. Leeward Island. See, I know where the Leeward Islands are, but I'm just making sure. Okay. There we go. Alright. And I will also share the stream to the Discord server. And if you guys want, you can join the Discord server with the link in my channel description. Or in my bio. I guess that's what you can call it, I don't know. You can see the eye from the radar in Puerto Rico, a lightning stroke right in the middle. Yeah, I did show that on stream earlier. Let's go to live streams. copy. Let's go to Discord. Alright, also, if you haven't already, make sure to go follow my Twitter account. It is at VincentWX1. I'll be posting frequent updates on the tropics and Hurricane Erin. So if you want more rapid updates rather than just the daily updates I post on my channel, and just more kind of short form, informative posts, make sure you go follow my Twitter. So again, it is at VincentWX_1. So I will post that in the chat. Alright, let me go ahead and post this. Alright, there we go. So yeah, if you want more frequent updates, I'll be posting a lot on here. I'm pretty active on Twitter, so. And let me see. I should be able to make a new link if you guys need. Alright. Alright, there we go. Maybe I'll hit 600 followers today, perhaps. We should always check local pressure on our predictions. What are your thoughts with its route tracking the lowest pressure in the northeast? I'm looking at the 30.3 curve. I think that really, once it makes its way, again, due north of Puerto Rico, most of the ensembles and operational models bring this, again, to the north with a pretty sharp curve there. So, my personal thoughts are that it's just gonna, obviously, make its way parallel to the East Coast. But I do think that it'll most likely go to the west of Bermuda. But I think as of now, once that northward shift begins, it's gonna do something like this. So, that's what I'm expecting as of now. Fortunately, you need to go lock in on homework, maybe be back later, see everyone. Thank you for tuning in, Mr. Twister. Appreciate you for all the support. Alright, you need a new link? Let me send it. One moment, everyone. Discord server. be. Okay, this should work, everyone. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. Let me turn this sound off. Alright. There we go. But yeah, if anyone has any questions about their location, feel free to let me know. So, we'll probably end up wrapping up the stream soon. But I just want to jump on here and give you guys all the latest. Again, this is the latest forecast coming from the National Hurricane Center. They will be updating their page in about an hour from now. So, again, pretty wild stuff. But so far, Bermuda is barely inside the edge of the cone of uncertainty. Again, that will be changing over the next couple of days. Hold on. Alright. So, we'll continue to watch that. But that's the track line. You agree you're not sure about Bermuda, though that pressure in New England is the lowest. You think it may attract along a little east of the center line, causing flooding in western Virginia's. If it does go towards the East Coast to the point where the outer bands reach, mid-Atlantic coastline, I think that definitely some heavy rain is going to be possible. But I think that's at best that's the worst case scenario. I really don't see the storm moving a whole lot towards the East Coast in general. I mean, if you look at the height anomalies here, again, you can see this ridging is what's keeping it away from the United States. But we talked about in last night's video how if we do see that high pressure build up from the south behind the system, that could kind of trap Erin closer towards the United States and not make a landfall, but definitely come a little bit closer instead of going just like that, because it can't really go completely out to sea from there, considering that, there's high pressure keeping it towards the U.S. So that's why on the latest Euro, instead of going right out to sea, it still kind of moves more north than northeast. But that trough slows down enough out there in Atlantic Canada where it's able to pick up the storm and throw it out to sea. And there is Shear affecting Erin. Not a lot, but it actually is happening. Let me see. So if you look at the latest satellite here, it's an interesting thing to note. So at the beginning of this satellite loop, you can see Erin is a perfect, almost perfect, circular shape here. And as the run continues, you can see it flattens out right here. Look at that. So there is actually some wind shear affecting the front side of Erin as it turns north. Because again, if it continued to move west instead of northwest there, that wouldn't have happened. So that's why it's such a huge deal, because number one, it would have continued to strengthen, and number two, it would have went right for the U.S. So the fact that this is going to go out to sea is huge news for us, because again, that would not be good. I'm in the New Jersey Center latest briefing, okay. New Jersey. No, I'm just gonna do. Alright, let me see, can you put the, link in chat? Or I guess you could send it to me. Hold on. New Jersey. You got your directions mixed up. You mean west of the current center and closer to the East Coast. Yeah, I don't really expect it to have a huge impact on where the storm is going to go, because, again, if we look at the latest satellite loop, as I was talking about, it's making that northward curve, and that is actually going to continue over the next couple of days. So with the latest cone there, it almost lines up perfectly. Where right now we are expecting it to officially start to move northwest and eventually due north and out to sea. So as it also interacts with some shear, it will keep it from going, above and beyond farther into Category 5 status. With how powerful this thing is, it's possible that this thing makes a very close call to the Carolinas. I don't think so. I think that we would need to see a pretty significant and major change. Now, if it continued to move west and south of the forecast cone like earlier this morning, yes, we would have to start to worry about that a little bit more. But as of right now, no impacts other than rough seas are expected for the Carolinas and the East Coast. The spaghetti models are a bit deceiving right now. You still don't expect a landfall, but it's wobbling. Well, if we look at the ensembles, again, we can go back here. Let's see. Right. One second. So if we look at the GFS ensemble, and we zoom in here on Erin, you can see on the morning run, this is the 6Z. We take this out. You can see, again, most of its members taking this in between Bermuda and the East Coast, but a straggling few take this a little bit closer to the Carolinas, so that's why we can't completely rule out, obviously, some possible impact to the East Coast, but I will say that it is very, very unlikely that we will see that happen, because, again, if you look at this one member there, that one track, if you keep following it, this is with the most southern spaghetti plot, if you like to put it that way. So that would require Erin to continue moving due west rather than northwest, which we are now, we can confirm that is not going to happen from the latest satellite, because again, this is what's showing Erin. You see that eye starting to wobble a little bit farther north. There's that turn. It's starting to speed up as well. So it is going to begin to race off to the north there pretty quickly. Yes, mariners definitely need to watch out closer to the coastline. I advise that really no one should be going out on the water on the East Coast, because again, I mean, this thing is going to create huge swells, very large waves. We can look at the latest Euro, I think, paints a better picture here for our wave height. Again, there's Erin in the bottom of your screen. It continues to come. Here it comes up the East Coast, and bam, it throws 15-foot waves out the Carolinas. Now, is that overdone? Perhaps a little bit, but I really do urge that everyone, stays out of the water, especially along the immediate coastline, because, again, this is going to create some big problems for those coastal communities. Coastal flooding, spots of inundation, all are going to be possible along the East Coast. So as that happens here, this is going to be going all through the week. So from Wednesday all the way to Friday of this week, we need to watch out for big coastal impacts. Again, really anywhere from the Carolina coast all the way up to New England and Atlantic Canada, because Erin is going to be throwing big waves and rough seas at the East Coast. Again, like I said earlier, it's going to be a very expansive system. It's going to grow in size, so that's just going to allow for more water to be pushed towards the U.S. If possible, I do actually plan on staying live until the next update, because again, we will get a official strength update with Erin in just about an hour here from the National Hurricane Center, so it will actually happen before 2 o'clock, so this will happen, let's see, okay, let me put this in motion there. Yeah, so the last update was at 10:33 a.m., so we will actually get an update here in just about 30 minutes from now. So, I guess we will actually stay live for that. Turn off that. Okay. Alright, there we go. At 150 feet, flying in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle, looking for folks in distress. In one hurricane around 3 a.m., you were scanning and flying between 28 and 50 water spouts, rapidly forming and fading. Wow. That is unbelievable. Again, Erin is hopefully going to be missing Bermuda for the most part. But again, some members in the GFS ensemble take it a little bit closer to Bermuda, but thankfully the latest update from the National Hurricane Center, at least the forecast cone, it takes it around Bermuda, but again, Bermuda is in the very edge of the cone of uncertainty, so we will have to continue to watch for our folks out there, just because there is a chance that we will see some limited impacts towards Bermuda, but definitely no direct landfall for them. There's an ant down here, and it keeps coming towards me. It's like a huge ant. I'm trying to flick it away. I don't know why it's freaking me out. It's like not going away. Alright. Max did say it could be on the western side of the cone with the way it's wobbling right now, and that's your concern. You don't think models give a full picture right now. You still don't landfall, don't get me wrong, though. Yeah, I mean, the reason I'm saying that it's still probably not going to go close to the East Coast, at least in terms of a standpoint of where the storm will be as far as what the cone looks like. But, I mean, just based off of ensembles, yes, they are still kind of, spread out a little bit to the point where they're not all sure exactly where it's going to go. Most of them take this far enough away from the East Coast that there won't be any rain, at least, and no precipitation. So again, we will get a new update in just about 25 minutes from now from the National Hurricane Center. Alright. My viewing spiked by more than half after you put in the briefing. Yeah, that was funny. We had 15 watching. We actually had 16 watching at one point before we put it in, but since then it's like gone up a lot because I put in the briefing. But yeah, I appreciate that a lot, dude. Thank you. If you guys haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We do this every day for people all across the country, and obviously during the tropics, we just give as many updates as possible. Again, you can never have too many updates. You always just want to make sure that you're being safe than sorry, even in a situation like this where it's most likely going to go out to sea. So at the 1250 scan, again, you can see that wobble north. Look at that. Again, it's north of the center line on your forecast cone. So that gives you guys an idea. Look where it goes from. Let me see if we can play this. So right now it's actually going a little bit farther north. See, it was south of the forecast cone line. Then it's in line. Then it's north of there. So you can see the trend. It's moving north. Everything is moving north with this, but it's starting to get a little bit more flat here on the front side. Just because there is some wind shear that is affecting the storm. It's very limited, but again, as of right now, Erin is starting to shift north as expected. So yeah, if any of you have any questions about your location, feel free to let me know in chat. But again, we are awaiting the next update from the National Hurricane Center, which will be coming out in just about 20 minutes or so on Erin. And we will see if there is an update on the strength or the forecast cone. We actually will get a update with the forecast cones. We will see if they do shift it in any way. We'll see if Bermuda does remain in the cone of uncertainty. Will NJ get slammed? You left and this came back around. Hope you don't mind the comments. Figured the mighty algorithm likes engagement, and folks will be searching for this soon. Maybe it helped with the extra comments. Oh yeah, that would be great. And the more the merrier, because we want to help out as many people as possible, and that's always the goal. So that's what we want to do. So I mean, if you're talking about getting more people to come into the stream, do that. I mean, that would be very helpful, because we want to make sure that as many people are as aware as possible. Minimum estimated drop zone data pressure 913 millibars at 1639 per cyclonic drop zone. Okay. Let's see. What's up, Western Ohio, EAS, and weather? I feel like we could look at that on Tropical Tidbits. Wow. Yeah, they're finding pressure in the teens there. So again, the official pressure is at 917 millibars. It is expected to drop over the next couple of hours. Okay, is this what you're talking about here? So peak surface winds are just over 170 knots there on the latest Recon aircraft observations. So this storm is likely strengthening, because again, you can see that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is a lot strong. This could be a lot stronger than currently noted there by the National Hurricane Center. Again, I really do think that there's a chance that this is getting close to 170 mile an hour sustained winds. Again, this is the latest information. This is mission number 9 into Erin. What they are finding here is pretty incredible. Again, this is the surface wind speed point. You can see, I believe this is what we're looking at. Again, 170 surface peak winds, 170 knots. Go back to cyclonic weather and go to the top. Okay. Right here. go to where I was. Okay. Alright, just let me know where to go from here. I could probably call after the stream, but just because I'm probably gonna finish this up eventually. Click mission 9. Okay. Not gonna lie, I have no idea where you want me to go. Recon data, mission 9. View mission. Is this what you want me to look at? Okay, yeah, here. Oh, okay, here we go. So, at the latest point in which they went into the storm, this was well above 150 knots. Definitely closing in on 175. Top page. Oh, okay, there we go. So, the minimum estimated drop zone pressure is now at 913.1 millibars. Well, I just want to say that. And then flight level winds at 154 knots. But yeah, that pressure is dropping a lot still. So again, pressure now at 913 millibars. Unbelievable. Alright, let me see. And again, the latest drops on data shows that there is a spike in the wind speeds. Again, this line here shows the surface winds. So this blue line is the surface winds, and this graph shows the wind speed. So again, we almost saw winds of 175 knots at the surface, which would that would convert to roughly 201 miles per hour. And as far as I know, that is not a gust. So if that's sustained, then we have a huge jump in strength. But yeah, there it is. Okay, get rid of this. But yeah, the latest estimated drop zone pressure dropped 3 millibars, or at least 4 millibars, since the last mission there. So, or last drop zone, right? So again, I really would not be surprised if they increased the strength for Erin on the next National Hurricane Center update, which comes in just about 10 minutes here. Oh wait, maybe it comes in, hold on. I think it comes in later, actually. Cause, let's see. It's 2 p.m. I figured. So maybe it's not actually 1. I'm stupid. You're back, Sydney. Tempted to sleep more. That's good. Again, we'll check in on the satellite for Erin here. Let's see. Again, surface winds potentially up to 170 knots, which would be over 195 miles per hour, which, if that is sustained, surface peak 10-second wind speeds. That could mean that we now have a much stronger hurricane on our hands. But it continues to move north. Again, this is old news. This category 4 point. It is now a Cat 5. But yeah, this is the latest satellite. You can see that jump north pretty clearly now. But it is starting to get flattened out by wind shear there. Look at this last scan. Very asymmetrical. Because earlier this morning, when it was much more organized, you had a full circle here with your eye wall and your outer eye wall. And now it almost looks like the storm is getting cut in half, because all of this wind shear is affecting the front side of this hurricane. So the backside will remain the strongest part of the storm. So the southeastern eye wall is going to be the strongest part of the storm here at this very point. And it's going to continue to lurch forward and start speeding up. You can definitely see the shift now. It's, if that's a good word to use for description. Yeah, I mean, curve, shift, jump, whatever you want to call it. That's what's going on right now with Erin. Has the eye wall regenerated yet? You just started following this. It should be going under a eye replacement cycle soon, but if we're talking about just the northwest eye wall in terms of, you know, if it's done getting sheared off, I mean, it's still intact, but again, you can see a much different looking hurricane. So, like I said, it was completely symmetrical this morning, and as we get into this afternoon, it is looking a lot less organized in terms of the front side of this hurricane. So where you see that yellow line, that's where the storm is getting sheared off the most. So right now, the southeast quadrant of the storm is the strongest. So if we, let's see, we can split this into 4. Again, this is, I don't know, that's where we're seeing the strongest points. It's going to wobble west, north, south, and it's going to do an eye replacement cycle. This reminds me of Hurricane Floyd. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much what we're expecting to happen. Again, it's going to continue to move to the north, to the south. We've seen it do that all day. It was moving south of the cone this morning, but if you look at latest satellite, again, this is pretty new news, so I would not be surprised if some people don't know about this yet. It is starting to move north now. You can see that recurve beginning to happen. So, again, I think that the wobbling phase should be at least over soon by now, because, again, at this point, it looks like the storm is beginning to move north, and we aren't really expecting a whole lot of movement outside of the cone other than that. You can see the eye on Puerto Rico radar. Yeah, we looked at that earlier, but we could look at it again. So if we look at the San Juan radar again, you can see the eye actually on radar, and we can confirm that north turn from the radar. Look at that. So that's interesting to note. Again, you can see it following that line. Again, it was south. As of this morning, it was south of the radar. We can actually turn this to 75 frames. This will be better. This is kind of like a long version of a satellite loop. Again, you can see as of this morning, starts out almost south of the entire cone, south of the forecast line at least. And then there's that sudden movement north. And, I mean, that's pretty interesting to watch there. You can see it much clearer on the 3D version here. Floyd was 99, same area, and they said it was going to turn, but it got so strong it did its own thing. That's most likely not going to be happening with this storm. You'll make a call and see what we can do with HARP. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you're talking about HARP machines, because that's what I know. It's like the conspiracy theorists, like that's what they think steers hurricanes. Tired or the heat here because of HARP. It's so annoying. Yep, certainly moving northeast. Excuse me, northwest. But it is happening. Again, it's kind of starting out on that east to west trajectory, and then it takes that movement north. Look at that. Follows that line perfectly. That is a shift. So the storm is now beginning to recurve, and you'd think if it continues to do that, well, could take a farther east track like this. Will that happen? We don't know for sure, but we'll see what the next National Hurricane Center outlook shows. But you can see it on satellite too. It's on radar, it's on satellite. It's official, it's for sure. Let's take a look at the latest Recon data. Still, lowest pressure at 913 millibars. I mean, just unbelievable stuff there. Again, this is where I really do think that there is a chance that we might actually have a much stronger hurricane than being advertised. This isn't gonna do. It's a really asymmetrical eye right now. Yeah. That outer eye wall could be beginning. It's definitely possible. But I am very intrigued by just this latest satellite with that northwestern eye wall getting sheared off a little bit. You just subbed? Oh. New flight just departed 2 minutes ago. Alright, that should be the one we were looking at earlier. So, not really sure where that's taking off from. I don't think it's taking off from Miami, because that would take a while to get there. NOAA 9:10:05 in Erin, yeah. They haven't posted it yet. If you haven't already, make sure you go hit that subscribe button as well. We're going to be continuing to keep you guys updated on Erin here, and just make sure that you guys know where she's going to be going, because, again, it's better to be safe than sorry, and just making sure that everyone is prepared. This model tends to really overdo hurricanes, and it's being the most aggressive in this case, which is best for us. So this actually looks to be one of the more accurate models here. And if we look at the simulated satellite, let's see. It does not really show that phase of wind shear. If you know what I mean, like, it's not battling any shear. Okay. It's not no shear. It's about to get bigger really fast. Give it 6 more hours. It will do an eye wall replacement. Trying to make another run for Cat 5. It's really hard to turn a storm this strong. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to completely weaken out. I'm just saying that, you know, it's speeding up, moving to the north, but the latest satellite and radar imagery both show that Erin is getting sheared off to the north. But I definitely do think that a eye wall replacement cycle is likely sometime today. And it may never even dip below Category 5 status because of this information. Because remember, if we actually do have a storm this strong as of now with sustained winds of 190 miles an hour, which not confirmed, or at least gusts. These could definitely be gusts. But anyways, if we have a storm that strong right now, and it's gonna do an eyewall replacement cycle, it will not have a problem with this wind shear. It will stay at Category 5 status, and that is what is forecasted from the National Hurricane Center now. Again, this is actually even the latest. This is old data. They haven't updated it on weather-wise yet. But if we look at Radar Omega, again, you can see right now our Cat 5 Erin with wind speeds of 160 miles per hour. It is forecasted to jump another 5 miles per hour over the next 6 hours or so. Katrina was a mess. The only thing that was worse while active duty was Haiti. Alright, well, that's going to do it for today's live stream. I do have to go and eat lunch, so I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thankfully, this live stream got a lot of viewers, so hopefully we reached as many people as possible, just spreading the word about this major hurricane. But if you are on the East Coast, make sure you are staying out of the water, especially if you are a sailor, or you're just, going out in the water for any reason. Just make sure that you are staying safe and not going out too far, because again, very rough seas are expected throughout this week. If you are in the Bahamas or the Antilles, Leeward Islands, anywhere around there, make sure that you are staying safe, because again, even if you aren't directly affected by Erin, you could definitely feel some of those impacts from just the outer bands or just the huge swells that Erin will be creating. So, once again, appreciate all of you for tuning in, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, thank you all for coming to watch. I'll see you guys in the next video.